All right, I'm gonna spend some time to talk about this whole no, no, what is it called? Oscar so white thing, and I just want to start off by saying that I think it's a ridiculous movement. Um, I just think that right now blacks are just they just need to spend that time and energy coming together and doing something more productive. Um, I don't understand why a lot of blacks are so upset about the Oscars not nominating uh, any blacks to uh, participate in the Oscars, or no black movies were nominated, no black actors, actresses, etc. Um, and the way I look at it, man, is it's almost like it's almost like that house Negro, field Negro mentality, and I think a lot of blacks have that twisted in a sense. There's a lot of blacks who consider themselves to be more of the field Negro, the one who takes more of that approach. Um, and but I actually think that a lot of black folks who are upset about the Oscars, no black person being in the Oscars, I think they have more of the house Negro mentality. You know, it's like they're looking for that validation from whites. That pat on the back to say, you did a good job, that thumbs up, you did a real good job. That was a real good movie that you guys produced. Uh, and I mean, it's like despite what some of these movies sold, or you know, um, and how many blacks supported it, it's like it's not enough because it wasn't recognized to win an Oscar. Actresses wasn't recognized to win an Oscar. So it's more of the house Negro mentality, and and it's like when you look at black people today in our society, blacks have the resources and they have the power to fund and support their own movies in the entertainment industry. I mean, they got the money to do it. They don't need the Oscars. They don't need anyone else saying, hey, your movie is doing well. It's like, the numbers speak for itself. Um, and what's so funny is that, and one thing I don't understand is that, blacks have done things like come up with the Image Awards and the BET Awards, because of this issue that has been going on for quite some time. And it's like it's not enough, it's just like, since white people don't recognize it, it's like it doesn't mean anything, you know. But you have to understand this is a white establishment, and that's what it is, and that's what it's always been, you know. Start your own thing, you know. But it's and another thing that's funny is that when I remember when Magic Johnson had his theater, blacks didn't come together and try to support it. There were a few blacks actually snickered at him for doing this, and nobody reached out and said, "Hey, listen, I want to invest into this. You know, I only want to put, you know, my movies in your theater. I want to, be able to use your theaters as a platform to get my movies on the big screen because I know it's going to be kind of hard to get it, on these other, in these other movie chains like Regal and AMC. Um, but I know that, I can always count on you to put my movie on the big screen. And, blacks didn't use that as a way to they didn't use that as a platform. They didn't use it to their advantage. Um, so it's like, blacks want to complain about the Oscars not having black people, but we're not supporting each other. When it matters. It's like it's the crab in the bucket mentality. That's why I say that this Oscars movement is this it's a stupid movement. And I hate to put it like that, but I mean it really is. It's a stupid movement. Um, start your own stuff. You know, um, and I knew that this was coming. For example, I remember when the African girl Lupita Nyong'o, when she got that Oscar for 12 Years a Slave, and her part wasn't Jack. I mean, the only reason why she got an Oscar because, you know, whites didn't want a backlash from, her part that she played in a movie where, it depicted her being raped by her slave master. And I think that the Oscars kind of orchestrated that to where they wouldn't have that much of a backlash. You see what I'm saying? So they went ahead and they nominated her and they gave her an Oscar for her part, which I think was, which I saw right through it. Um, and I knew that once they did that this year, that there wouldn't be anybody nominated, no black person. It's like I saw that. But blacks rejoiced over the fact that she got an Oscar for basically being, um, her character being raped in a movie, you know, and that's the only reason why she got the Oscar, and they tried to make it seem like that. Oh, it was just, like this is really gonna change the way the Oscars are being done, and you know, the next year, you know, here we come, and no black person is nominated for an Oscar, not even recognized. So it's like I saw through that, and blacks, for some reason, blacks didn't catch on to that. So that's why I just say that this whole Oscar so white movement is stupid. Um, if you guys really want to see blacks, you know, uh, do something. If you want to see blacks come together, then you know, support each other. You know, but as for me, I mean, I really don't care. You know, what blacks or whites or whoever does, whatever they do. And that's coming from me, Christian perspective. You know, I mean that the industry is just all screwed up anyway, especially black Christians. And I'm not gonna touch on that too much, but if you're a black Christian and you're upset over this whole thing with the Oscars, read your Bible, man. It has nothing to do with you. You know, I don't want to see any black Christians, on Facebook, talking about how upset they are over the Oscars. That's something for the world. It's not something for Christ. But that's just my opinion on the whole issue. You know, I mean, blacks, either you're gonna support each other or you're not. And if you're not gonna support each other, look forward to the next Oscars not being so diverse. I mean, you don't see any Asians, Indians, and Hispanics complaining about not being nominated for an Oscar. So why are you? You know?